we are working and we got some progress. Not really at all. Next project, how about that? Next project is to complete the framework on the back of this camper. It's actually not done. I just never finished it. So there's this bat wing portion that goes up on this corner and kind of goes back. So there's one of these situations that happens. So that'll be a, you know, it gives it a bat wing. And then there's also a cap that comes down. As you can see in the picture here of it when it had the aluminum on it, there's the cap, I'm calling it. And that all has to be done because at the same time, and it has to tie into the roof, I kind of had to remember what the heck I was doing here, making a step like that and everything else. You'll see it at the end. I'm not going to explain it because honestly I don't know how to do it yet. But the reason why I got to do this is because right here, which is on the inside of the rear wall right above the rear dinette window, is where the plan is to put the wall air conditioner. So my plan is, obviously this is all an afterthought here, is to take out this and frame it out and mount it right there. Well, there's a problem because as you saw in the photo, this cap comes down and it's going to come really close. So yeah, just follow along because this one's going to be a little bit of figuring, so let's do it. Alright, so I've been looking at some old photos of the camper and just trying to get an idea of how this thing was built because I can't really remember. And I figured the best way to do it is to just take the piece of aluminum, just mock it up, and then measure what you need. The roof aluminum would come back and then tuck in right on top of here. So that's kind of how that works. The other interesting part is the rear of this camper, both corners were completely rotted out when I took it apart. So it's very hard for me to figure out what is the correct way to do this. I know the main frame that you see right now is the right dimensions just because, you know, I had the whole rear end of it to work with. Whereas this little corner piece was all rotted out. Just cut 3/4 inch wide, new bat wings. We got javelins we're cutting over here. I'm sure I'll be cursing when I put that aluminum on, but we gotta get this framework built, and I just don't, you gotta really plan on this stuff. You gotta plan this stuff like crazy because it's just gonna cause nothing but problems. So if I wasn't using this original aluminum, all of this wouldn't even be a factor because you just slap it on with all fresh stuff, you know? But because I'm using this exact formed aluminum that was off of the camper, I need to replicate the framework that wasn't there and make it the same so that this cap is perfect on here when it's like that. So that's what I'm working on. I'll show you the next step hopefully when I get there. So let's do it. So I got the wedge off of the side of the camper, and in order to get the angle for the board to fit nice, putting it against the blade and eyeballing it perfectly and setting the angle of the blade to that, and now we can rip the 2x4. Look at that. Broke it. Freshie. Okay, we have the Batmobile wings on, fastened, construction adhesive, done. Alright, now I'm just kind of mocking up the next pieces that go here, here, and then I'm going to cap it with plywood all the way across. Okay, we got the first one up there. And, you know, reminder, the whole reason why I'm even doing this is so that I know how much room we have to work with to cut the air conditioner hole right there. So I might have to cut into what I'm doing right now, but it's like, I gotta start with something here. Gotta know my limitations before you can go making stuff. So I just remembered I screwed that in there and I couldn't get to this portion above the door for insulation. So I got this packaging material that I got out of some package one day, and I saved it for insulating the camper one day, and that's a perfect little spot for that. 1.5 inches thick it happened to be. Send that back home. This is going to seem a little counterintuitive, but we're going to start disassembling this wall that was assembled a long time ago. So we got to take this stud out. We got to take this, it's actually a half thickness. This is actually where the porch light mounted from the exterior. That's why that's there. So we're just going to take that out because it's going to be on our way. We'll still mount a porch light. We'll just figure that out later. But this stud is going to be completely in the way. And essentially what we have to do is frame out another window, but it's not a window, it's for the air conditioner. And then I got to come inside here and take out what looks to be one screw. So that's cool. So it's glued though. It's probably gonna, it's gonna be rough. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's some good stuff. It literally ripped that wood right off of there. I bet you some people out there are cringing like crazy diving into this new camper, but you know what? Sometimes you make mistakes and you just gotta roll with them. This isn't that big of a mistake in my opinion. I gotta take 2 boards out, whatever. Gotta cut a hole in the wall. Maybe in the next video or whatever, we're gonna see the best situation on framing this out. And if it doesn't work and it doesn't pass my approval, I ain't going in there. That's it. But I'm pretty confident I'll make it work. You'll see. Gotta get the peanut butter up in here. Get your peanuts here. That's it, buddy. Let's shove it in there. Just like that. Get this one in here just like that. Alright. Got the plywood face on. And now, if you come up top here and you look in there, there's just a little pocket. And then that's what this piece is gonna go in here. So the top board is in. And now there's a gap in here for wiring to get to the running lights, and we've marked those out. And now we're just kind of putting spacers in areas that are between. That way when the capped 3/8 plywood goes over all of this, it has a support every once in a while to support it.
Right in between here?
Just in between the 2 lines. That's because it's got to be area for the chaseway for the wiring.
Done.
Nice. Back at it. Here we are. Took a little break. We got the Batmobile wings, accent, whatever you want to call it, complete. Capped it with the plywood. Cut that bottom and top piece on an angle to match so that this was a nice smooth transition all the way. And then here is the top. It gets a little tricky, but you see that void in there, that's for wiring to go down and get to your running lights, which will be, you know, just throughout the top here. These little pieces will be for when the sheet of 3/8 plywood that'll go all the way to the back here has something to rest on, so you can screw it down, because then the plywood will go you know, 4 feet that way too. Until the roof gets put on, the aluminum, if it'll work. So that'll be a bad day when that roof doesn't fit because it's too long or whatever. I mismeasured or something. But Sherman, what is the Sherman doing? Chasing bugs? He really doesn't care. So here it is. I explained this, but the whole point of this was to see where the limitations were for the air conditioning opening. So now that we know exactly how big of an area that we're working with, we can, you know, we can mock it up and then eventually frame it out with whatever we're gonna frame it out with, and then go from there. So got the ladder mocked up on there the way that it would be. I measured the aluminum roof siding, or you know, the roofing material, and then measured where the holes are for the ladder from the side, and I got it mocked up just laying there so I can see exactly how much room I have. And because the air conditioner is going to go literally right there. I'm just making sure that I have enough room to not hit the ladder, which it looks like we're going to sneak this through. Now your foot's going to be really close to it, but we'll take care of that later. It's not going to be the easiest to climb the ladder, but guess what? I'm not climbing the ladder 14 times a day. So this is going to complete this video. I know it wasn't a big ordeal, but we got to keep the videos coming, and the next video is going to be more air conditioning based. This one's prepping us, so we got it set. We got the ladder mocked up, and we'll see you guys on the next one.